welcome everybody, and we're having a talk time with Sheriff Edenfield. So today, we've had the pleasure of sitting down and talking to my dear friend Sheriff Edenfield. How's it going, Sheriff?
Going great, Byron. How are you today?
I'm doing outstanding. It's just coming off of the spring break, and man, I tell you, I'm happy that these kids are back in school.
Yeah, the spring break was nice. You know, it gave us a little time to do some training with our school resource deputies, but it's a good thing to get them back in school. You know, before long it'll be summertime.
Yeah,
a couple more months and school will be out.
Right around the corner. So I wanted to hit you with a few questions, and then allow you to open up and tell us about what you got going on and some of the cool things that's going on with Jackson County Sheriff Department, and what some new things we can expect. One of the biggest things I want to talk about, I'm glad you mentioned about spring break, because as we could see in some of the most recent news out in Bay County, they're having a rough time at Panama City Beach with a lot of the violence that's going on. And I've got to commend you for the work that you've been doing, because man, it seems like every other day there's something crazy going on, and you've been handling and dealing with it straightforward. But most recently, I want to say it was a couple of months ago, over into the Camelton area, the Club Underground, I believe it's called, was you shut it down due to a shooting that resulted in a death. And I've talked with a few people in that community, and they've voiced concerns that there are other nightclubs that are kind of like a cesspool for violence that's recurring in a local area. Do you have any plans to possibly do the same thing, or voice those concerns in that area?
Well, like you said, the club on Dion Road, it's called Club Underground. They it's right there at the state line, and a lot of times things would happen up there and we would never know about it. Shootings, fights, things of that nature, violent things. So back in December, on Christmas, we actually got word of a shooting via Dothan PD, because someone had went to a hospital in Dothan. And so when our deputies and investigators went out to check and investigate it, there were several bullet holes in the building, and come to find out those were from previous shootings. So who knows how many were out there already. And then fast forward, and back in February, they had the incident out there. We had a big party, and where the gentleman was shot and actually killed. And Jackson County doesn't need that kind of stuff going on in our county. Our citizens, they don't expect that, they don't deserve it, and they're not going to tolerate it. So we reached out and started doing some investigating of our own, and actually got up with the property owner, and come to find out there was no business license, there was no certificate of occupancy, there was no alcohol license, and there were things going on there that were illegal, and that's where we came in. So the owner of the property graciously decided to close it, which was a good decision on his part. And and I know there's a few more around that occasionally we'll have parties of like such, but if there is illegal activity going on at those establishments, underage drinking or selling alcohol without a license or illegal narcotics, you can expect to see your sheriff's office there.
And that's one thing that the main point that I made in the show was like, a lot of times, club owners, because I've dealt with, club promotion back in the day, and a lot of times club owners, they get attracted to that young money,
Yeah.
And they want to pack the building, and they start to lose sight and lose focus of safety, and all of those things that would attract violence. And when something happens, especially if they're not prepared, they don't want to pay the money for the security. They don't want to do the work to attract a different type of crowd. And so that fast money is young folks, but what also comes with young people is violence, is that young energy, that testosterone floating around everywhere, along with that tough guy juice,
Right.
But that I was happy to see that. And like I say, it was kudos to you and kudos to everybody within your department for the good work that you've been doing.
Thank you. We had many residents in the neighborhood and throughout the county that reached out after that, and they were appreciative of it.
And that's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. I mean, this sheriff's department is owned by the people. It's not mine.
So that brings me to my next question. When we talk about the people. So also, last month, Roni, she had the opportunity to talk with Miss Letitia Highsmith. She's the owner of Osana Mental Health Services, Counseling and Services. They continue, we talk about how in Jackson County, we have this mental health crisis, to be honest with you, and how a lot of your department has been, kind of stretched through utilizing your resources to deal with a lot of these Baker Act issues. And so have you come up with a plan to address a lot of these mental health issues? And is it, go ahead.
It's not just Jackson County, unfortunately, but there are so many people, Byron, that suffer from some kind of mental illness and we deal with them every day. And usually, most oftentimes, when we go out to someone that is threatening harm to themselves or harm to someone else, they meet certain qualifications. We do a Form 52, which is most commonly known as a Baker Act form. And these men or women are taken to a Baker Act facility. The most common one for us is in Bay County, Bay Behavior, and we'll take them down and they'll stay for, around 72 hours, and then they're released, right. And they come right back into our community, and they got the same problems as they did before. Either they were supposed to be on medications and they'd gotten off of them because they didn't have a way to go get them, or they didn't have the money, or just for whatever reason. And once they get out and come back home, then it's just it's another cycle. We're going to get another call out there eventually. So what I have done, and what we've done here at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, is teamed up with Northwest Florida Health Network. And we already have in place a mobile response team. So what that team does, if we go out and make contact with someone that's having mental health issues, we notify this mobile response team, and they're available 24/7, no matter the time of day. And they have clinical physicians on staff, and they will either do a team or Zoom call, or they will actually come to the scene where this person is having the mental health issues and make a determination and try to get them some help. Sometimes it could keep us from having to Baker Act someone, because when we have to Baker Act someone, that person has to be taken all the way into Bay County, which is sometimes it takes a deputy off the road for 3 hours, approximately. So, and it's according to where the person is residing in our county. But what this team does, it gets them immediate attention, like by a clinician, and they can come to the scene, do an assessment, and make a determination. Hey, this person really is a danger to themselves. They need to go somewhere right now. Or we say, no, this person just needs maybe to follow up with an appointment tomorrow, make sure we get them back on their meds. So we're working on, we've already had that in place. We signed the contract with Northwest Florida Health Network, Mr. Mike Watkins, over probably about a month ago. We signed it beginning of this month. So another thing that we have in the making is a contract with Northwest Florida Health Network for a position, and the funding is there. It trickles down from the national level to the state level, but the funding is there for a what they call a CARES position. And this position, Sheriff Ford down in Bay County just recently took advantage of it. And this is nothing that's just available to Sheriff Edenfield and Jackson County Sheriff's Office. This is available to other sheriffs as well. Okay. But this CARES position will be, like I said, funded through the Northwest Florida Health Network. But it will be a person who can, in the event we have a Baker Act or someone that's Marksman Act, because of drugs, narcotics addiction, and they go to a facility, and once they get out, that deputy, they don't have time to go by and follow up with that person and say, hey, are you okay? Are you taking your medications? How's things going? But this it's sort of like a caseworker. This position will be, and that person will receive training through the Northwest Florida Health Network, but will be available. It'll be an employee of the sheriff's office, paid by contract through the network, and that person will be there to follow up on all those Baker Acts and all those Marchman Acts that's released from the hospital, just to see, hey, do you need a ride to life management? Do you need a ride to, or how can I help you be successful? Because mental health illness is real. It's real as real can be.
Yes, it is.
And locking someone up is not the answer to it. I mean, obviously, we have to do that sometime, Byron. I know you know that because of their safety and the safety of the public, but that's not going to fix their problem. So we got to find out what can help them with their problems and try to get them some help. We're also, we've written a grant through Attorney General Ashley Moody, she's a huge supporter of law enforcement. But we've submitted a grant to her office to get a grant funded position here that would be a victim's advocate employed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, paid through a grant through the Attorney General's office, but that would be there to assist victims of any crimes within our county. Because most oftentimes we get so focused, especially in situations when it's a murder, a serious crime, it's all hands on deck. All the men and women here are focused on finding the person that did this. And sometimes it's easy to lose focus of the victim. And because we're so focused on catching the bad guy, and this victim's advocate will be a huge, huge plus for us. That'll be that person that could step to the victim and sort of keep them updated and in the loop of what's going on as much as they can, but also let them know about anything that's available to them, all the services that's available to them. So we're excited about all of those, the mobile response team, the CARES position, and the victim's advocate position.
That's outstanding.
Good things are coming.
That's outstanding. And one thing I'll say is that's one of the traits of a good leader, good steward leadership, is the fact that you can maximize your utilization of resources, because there's a lot out there. You just got to know who to tap into and how to utilize it.
That's right.
I'm looking at the website, and it looks like, and they have providers. So somebody, the local mental health services around here, especially in Jackson County, such as Ms. Highsmith, they can become a provider, and then boom, there's that connection. So when they look to follow up with someone, they can get in contact with her that way. So this is great news. I wanted to segue and talk about some other things you got going on. So I saw, so I heard on the radio, and I saw some stuff on Facebook, I believe, a teen challenge. What is the teen challenge? Tell us about that teen challenge.
The Teen Drivers Challenge is it's a driving class, if you will, that's put together by the Sheriff's Association, and it's for teen drivers, and it's to teach teen drivers basic driving skills. I learned to drive in the cornfields on my dad's truck.
Yeah.
But things have changed. That was in the late 70s, and this is 2022. So we have a lot of teen drivers in our county, Byron, and we had at one time, Jackson County had the highest teen traffic fatality rate in the state per capita, which is not a good thing. And over approximately 20% of the teen drivers will be involved in a crash within 12 months of getting their driver's license. Yeah. So 2 out of 10 is going to be in a crash. Yeah. And this class, it's free of charge to our citizens, and it's for our teen drivers. You must be at least a permit licensed driver, so 15 and up, and have your learner's permit. And we have the classes. Our next one is April the 9th out at the Ag Center, and we're going to try to do roughly one a month, and most of them be on Saturdays. Now, when school's out, we may start offering them through the middle of the week, and utilize some of our school resource deputies to help teach it. But this class is basically a 1 day, 8 hour roughly. Bring your driver, your teen driver, and if they have a vehicle, that they're accustomed to driving, by all means, bring it.
Mhm.
But if they don't have a vehicle, bring them anyway.
Okay.
I'll put them behind the wheel of a safe vehicle. And in this class, there's some classroom part, and they talk about statistics, and they talk about distracted driving, which is big with not just teenagers, but anybody, all drivers. And we give them a lot of statistical data. And at the break, we feed them lunch on the grounds there, and we do a lot of driving that afternoon. And it's just some basic operational of the motor vehicle operational tactics, braking techniques, evasive techniques, braking, figure eights, to teach them, how to maneuver the wheel, how to manage the wheel, cornering techniques, backing. So just basically trying to give them some basic fundamental driving skills. And back in the day, most schools had a driver's ed program. Yeah. But I mean, not every high school in the county does it. And I understand, there's reasons. It's not that they don't want to, but you have so much that you got to fit in the curriculums. But this is a good thing. It's basically a variation of the same techniques that we teach law enforcement officers in the police academy. So I think it's a good thing. It's free, and we've had one class so far, and we had, I think, either around 10 in it. And that was a good number for me, because you get too many, it takes away from the amount of time that the student gets to drive. So 10 is a good number. And those kids, they were excited about it. They had a good time. They learned some skills. The parents were grateful. And again, it's at no cost to the parent. Just bring the kid up there. If they've got a car they drive, bring that. And if not, we'll provide one. And at the end of the day, come back and get them. We'll feed them lunch, and maybe along the way they learn a few skills. And the point of the whole thing is to reduce accidents and save lives. And you can't put a price on the life. I have an 18-year-old daughter that's a driver. So I feel what these parents feel when their kids get on the road. Yeah. Because you worry about it, and you can't help but worry about it. So we want to do our part to try to protect our kids.
So
and you can sign up. You can sign up for our classes at teendriver@jacksonso.com.
Too easy. And also I got my own little stickler, because growing up, I lost a lot of good bit of friends from just falling asleep on the road, trying to get out there and drive all the way to Panama City or Tallahassee, and would just fall asleep on the road. But my biggest pet peeve, and that's what I try to tell my younger cousins and things like that. Hey, no hot dogging, and remember the right lane is not your passing lane. Okay, your passing lane is the left lane, so don't sit in the left lane and just ride all day long.
And two things to remember is both hands on the wheel and both eyes on the road.
There you go.
you stick to that. That prevents a lot of accidents.
Yeah, but you kill
eyes on the road, hands on the wheel.
You're right about that. Oh, and tell us about your concealed weapons course. And I know it's been a hit in the past.
Yeah. I've always been a huge supporter of the Second Amendment, and we live in a rural county. Not many people doesn't have weapons. And obviously that Florida allows you to carry a concealed weapon by law, if you follow the procedures and obtain a concealed carry permit. And I teach, one of the prerequisites to that permit is you have to have a gun safety course. And I've been a firearms instructor for a large part of my career. And so I teach those classes, which is a prerequisite. And I've always used it as a fundraiser for this and that. And I did one a couple weeks ago. Our next one is this Saturday, April 2nd, right here at the Sheriff's Office at 4111 Governor Rick Scott Drive. You do not have to bring a gun or ammo, just bring your identification and your $35 donation. And all the monies that we take in from these concealed carry classes will be spent in the community. These particular classes that we're doing right now, we will give the money to the senior classes throughout the county.
Sweet.
And I think there's 6 of those, counting our Counting Hope School. It's six senior classes. So we're going to try to give them some money to spend on their kids on project graduation or graduation night. And so it's a big win-win. We help folks legally obtain a concealed carry permit, and we raise money for a good cause. And it also counts for the shooting portion of your hunter safety. So if you got a teenager that's trying to get a hunting license, because by the time they reach the age of 16, they have to have a hunting license if they're going to hunt alone. So that will suffice for that as well. So the last class we had, first part of March, I think it was the first Saturday in March, we had over 30 students in it. So we're looking for a big class this Saturday as well. And we're excited about it. And obviously your sheriff's a huge supporter of your Second Amendment right.
Outstanding. Yeah. And that's probably one of the biggest things with having a concealed weapons permit. A lot of people don't know the rules, when and where you can carry. But I have one myself. So that's great. Yeah. And a lot of times we're so used to, especially those military folk, we're so used to, going to the range. And it's one of those things that you miss when you get out. And so you try to find somewhere to go where you can just, pop off some rounds and have your good time at the range. So yeah, I love to hear that. I love to hear about getting out there and giving some gun safety classes and concealed weapons classes. So that's great news. One thing I wanted to hit you with one of these questions, because I always like to try to pick people's brains and give folks kind of a real life and a real personal aspect to our leaders and our civic leaders out here, to our officials. What would you say has been your it's a two-part question. What would you say has been your biggest learning curve as sheriff, and also what would you say gives you the most pleasure as being sheriff of Jackson County?
The biggest learning curve. I've always been a people person, Byron, my whole life, in my whole career. But I would say one of my shortcomings is the lack of patience. When I see things that I envision what it should be and what it is, and I want it fixed now. And I know it's not a good trait to have, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm learning. As the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
And you can't. So it's taken a while, and some days I still get impatient. I just have to pray more about it. God's helping me for sure. I'm a faithful person. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ first and foremost. Just so you know, I'm not a perfect person by no means, but I serve a perfect one.
There you go.
But he's helping me with that patience thing. But that's probably the biggest learning curve, is realizing, hey, it takes time to get where you want to get, because I got lots of ideas and lots of things I want to see come to fruition and happen to make our county a better place. But I'm learning with the patience. I'm working on it.
And to my other one, what would you say gives you the most pleasure? Gives you the most pleasure being shared?
Serving the people. It's a calling. I mean, we tell all these guys that work here, you don't go into this line of business for the paycheck.
Yeah.
No one goes into police or public service business for the money you're going to make, because that's if you are, you're going for the wrong reason, I can assure you. But it's for the love of the people, and it's a calling for sure. But each and every day, I wake up excited that I get another day to be your sheriff. And it's a blessing. I mean, God has been good to me. I can't tell you how much. And to be able to have a job, because a lot of people don't have that luxury, to have a job that I am excited to get up every day and go to work. And that's probably the biggest thing, is serving the people, giving them what they pay for.
Outstanding. And we don't worry about that, because we're kindred spirits on that one, because I'm the same way. and especially when you have all the ideas and you want it right, and you got that particular mindset and you want to see it in fruition. But one thing, good friend of mine told me, consistency and patience. Just stay at it, stay the course, and eventually you'll get it how you want to. And it's one of those learned things, brother. It will get there. Like you say, just keep on praying and God working on us. But
he's already got it figured out, Byron.
Oh yeah. Well, we just can't see it, but yeah. So that wraps it up for our interview. And once again, I'm gonna put all the information back out there regarding the Teen Drivers Challenge, the concealed weapons permit. Oh, also, before I forget, this you also have an app that's coming out, isn't that correct?
Yeah. We're big on being transparent. We want the people to know what we do on a daily basis. So a couple of weeks ago, we launched our app called the Sheriff's app, and you can go to anybody with a smartphone. Anyone with a smartphone can go to your app store and type in Jackson County Sheriff FL, and it will pull up. And this app has a number of features from local weather. You're able to submit a tip on it. It can give you a link directly to Crime Stoppers. It gives you a way to contact us directly. It gives you a little bit about me, but more about our mission and what our goals is and how we vision ourselves getting there. It has a tab on it for certain events as well as news. So anytime we put a press release out to the media outlets, it's also going on our Sheriff's app. So you get it when the news media outlets get it. Also, there's an inmate search tab, so you can pull up who is in our county jail. So if someone got booked in, you'd be able to tell if someone got arrested or even if they got released. And it also has a sex offender search. You can click on this tab and it will ping the address locations in our county of every registered sex offender. So if you're interested in determining if you have someone living in your area, in your community, that is a registered sex offender, easy way to find out. It also gives you a tab to sign up for the Teen Drivers Challenge and let you know when the next classes are coming up. We have a school resource tab. So you can, if your kids are in a public school, you can find out who your school resource deputy is and find out a little bit about him. And community resources and a join our team icon. So if you're interested in being a deputy sheriff or a communications officer, there's information on there about that. And it also gives you a few links down bottom, how to contact us or how to link up with all our social media pages, because we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're not doing this to become popular. We're doing this to keep you informed as a citizen of this county.
Access. That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's outstanding. I mean, you hitting the ground running, Sheriff. Once again, and I'm putting that information out. Also, we'll be running this episode periodically throughout the week, and we'll rerun it again. Make sure this information get out. Thank you so much, Sheriff Edenfield, for sitting down and talking with us on Bottom Line with Roni and Byron. And good luck to you. And I hope nothing but the best for you.
Thank you. God bless, Byron.
God bless.